Okay, what I'd like to show you how to do here is how you can use the reports in the dealer's website to show how many unique visitors to the dealership use their preferred owner card. The problem with using the dashboard is the dashboard shows number of transactions, but when somebody comes in and gets signed up for using their card, it counts multiple transactions. It'll count a transaction for signing the customer up. It'll count it if they preload service dollars on there. It'll count it again if they use sales preload dollars on there. So you've got 3 transactions when it was only 1 visit by the customer. And it does something similar for service visits as well. So you have an inflated true customer count. What I'm going to show you is how to use the reports to get an actual customer count. And so you go to the dealer website, which is dealer.gmpreferredowner.com. You're going to need to log in under one of the dealer's passwords, one that gives access to the report. So maybe the administrator. We go into the site, log in, and click on reports. The next thing you want to do is go down to where it says transaction activity report. And you're going to pick a time frame. I'm just going to use, for this example, we're going to use a month. So I'm going to click on the little calendar feature for the activity start date and go back 1 month. I'll click the left arrow button to go back to March 24th, and you can see the end date I'm keeping as today, which is April 23rd. So from March 24th to April 23rd, and then I just click Run Report. You've got this open, save, or cancel that pops up. I just want to open it. You can save it later. So we open it up, and there's the spreadsheet. It has all the activity that's going on for the month. And if you'll see here, you can see for this person, Daniel Brewer, they did a customer lookup for when he came in for service, and then there was the reward for the actual customer service. So he got 2 swipes, even though he's only in once, or 2 transactions, I should say, is showing up on this report. So what we're going to do here is we want to condense, combine, remove duplicates. So I'm going to show you how to do this. First thing I want to do is I want to add a column. And we'll go over to column F, just click right on the F, and then I'm going to right click and click Insert. That opens up column F. I want to put a header there. I'm just going to put the word date. And I'll explain that in a minute. So I put the word date there, and then I need to expand column E and expand column F. You just put it right on the border and hold down your left click button and then slide your cursor over. So there we go. We got the 2 columns wide, and you can see under activity date, the time and the date, it all fits there. The next thing we need to do is we need to put a formula into cell F2 right underneath the word date. And the formula that I want you to type in is equal INT and then in parentheses E2. What this will do, hit enter. What this will do is it will copy E2, the first date right under this activity date, into F2 right under the word date without the time. It'll just have the date on there. You can see the time says 000. So the next thing I want to do is I want to copy this formula. So I click on F2 and then I right click, hit copy, and then I click on F3 and then left click, hold it down, keep holding it, and then slide your cursor all the way down to the bottom of the spreadsheet, the last row. Get down to the bottom and let go, then right click and click paste. And it has copied that formula all the way down. Okay, so we've got that formula, and the next thing we want to do is we're going to go click on row 1. You want to actually click on the number 1 right up here, and it'll highlight the entire first row. And then what we need to do is we need to go over, make sure it's on the Home tab. We need to click on this Sort and Filter button right up here, and then click that, and then click on the word Filter. And you'll see these little down arrows come all the way across the screen at the top row. Once you've done that, we need to go over to row M and click on its down arrow and sort Z to A, not A to Z. We want to do Z to A and enter. Alright, so you'll see service at the top right there. And then the next step is we want to click on any random cell on the screen. It's just to finish that last thing we just did. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to go up to the top here and click on this Data tab. So click on Data, and then right in the middle of the screen there's this function called Remove Duplicates. We're going to click on Remove Duplicates, and this button pops up, and what we're going to do here is click on Unselect All. You click on that, and then the next step, we need to go down and we need to individually check off two boxes. The first one is Date, and the second one is Card Number. What this is going to do is it's going to take that row F that we just created, and it's going to look at the card number. And any card number that has the same date, it's going to remove duplicates, and it's only going to have one of those left. The reason we had to create row F is because the individual times would not allow us to remove duplicates, because every time is a minute off or 5 minutes off or whatever. In any case, we're going to hit OK here, and it says right in this box, 322 duplicates values found and removed, 138 unique values remain. So we hit OK. What this means is there are 138 unique people that came into the dealership and used their card in some way. And you can see right here, there's 139 lines, but the top line is the headers. And so this gives us our count. This gives us our true count of how many people came in the last month and used their card in some way, whether they got enrolled, whether they used it in service, whatever the case may be. What you might find at the bottom here is a customer lookup that lingers at the bottom. And if you have that, if you have a customer lookup down here at the bottom, there's not one on this screen, but that would mean that the only thing that happened with that customer's card is there was a customer lookup. I would recommend you remove those from the count. So if we had 139 here, but there was one customer lookup, go to 138. Because these are customers that didn't get a reward, didn't get a redemption, didn't get a goodwill, didn't get a enrollment to the program. So this might be an employee that went on this site and checked their card balance, or it might have been the cashier checking up card balance for a customer online, or that was calling in. Whatever the case is, they didn't have any activity. So my guess is they probably did not come into the dealership. And if they did come into the dealership, they were forgotten to be asked to use their card in some manner. So, what is this good for? Well, what you can do is you can ask the dealership, how many people came into the store last month? In other words, how many vehicles did you sell? How many ROs did you have? If they're handing it out to people that are just coming on the floor and kicking tires, you could ask, well, how many people came in and visited and looked at your cars? You take all those numbers, you add them all up, and you divide this number by that. So let's say they had 1,300 people come in the last month. And you can see here, this is 139 lines of people that use their card. That means they're only getting 10% of the people that are coming in the door to actually use their card in some way. And that's a discussion you can have. Or maybe it's 50% or 75%. You can set some goals around this. But in any case, that's how it's done. I hope that helps.